What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of creatine, your secret weapon for unlocking insane muscle gains. We're not just scratching the surface here, we're going all in on the science, the strategies, and the straight-up facts to maximize your results. Now you might be thinking, creatine? Isn't that old news? And yeah, it's been a staple in the fitness world for ages, but that's because it works. The problem is, so many people are using it the wrong way and actually holding themselves back from serious gains. But don't worry, I've got your back. In this video, I'm going to break down the different types of creatine, separate fact from fiction, and show you exactly how to incorporate it into your routine for maximum muscle building power. We'll cover the optimal dosages, timing strategies, and potential side effects, so you can reap all the benefits without any of the drawbacks. If you're serious about getting stronger and bigger, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell because this is going to be a game changer. Okay, let's kick things off with the undisputed king of the creatine jungle, creatine monohydrate. If you've heard of creatine before, chances are you've heard of this one. It's the most researched, the most affordable, and consistently ranks at the top for effectiveness. We're talking decades of studies, guys, showing it can significantly boost muscle growth, strength, and even enhance recovery. So how does it work? Creatine monohydrate essentially acts as an energy reserve for your muscles. When you're hitting those heavy lifts or intense workouts, your muscles rely on a molecule called ATP for fuel. Think of ATP as your muscle's primary energy currency. The problem is, your body only stores a limited amount of ATP, which gets depleted pretty quickly during exercise, leading to fatigue and reduced performance. That's where creatine monohydrate swoops in to save the day. By increasing your creatine stores, you're essentially increasing your body's capacity to produce ATP. This means more energy available for your muscles, allowing you to push harder, lift heavier, and train longer, ultimately leading to greater muscle growth and strength gains. Now you might be wondering, what about all those fancy new forms of creatine out there? Are they better? While there are different forms available, creatine monohydrate consistently comes out on top. In terms of effectiveness and scientific backing, it's like the tried and true method that just keeps delivering results. But hold on, there's more. Not only does creatine monohydrate enhance your physical performance, but it also has some pretty impressive cognitive benefits. Studies show it can improve memory, focus, and even protect your brain against age-related decline. So, you're not just building a better body, you're building a better brain too. When it comes to dosage, most studies recommend around 3 to 5 grams per day. You can take it with or without food, but some people find that taking it with a meal helps with absorption. And don't worry about needing a loading phase or cycling off. Creatine monohydrate is safe for long-term use, and you'll continue to reap the benefits as long as you're consistently supplementing. So if you're looking for a safe, effective, and affordable way to take your training to the next level, creatine monohydrate should be your go-to supplement. It's the OG of muscle builders for a reason, and it's here to stay. Now let's talk about another popular contender in the creatine arena, creatine hydrochloride, or creatine HCl for short. Think of this as the sophisticated cousin of creatine monohydrate, offering some unique advantages that might appeal to certain individuals. One of the key selling points of creatine HCl lies in its enhanced solubility. Remember how we talked about creatine monohydrate sometimes not dissolving well in water? Well, creatine HCl takes care of that issue with its superior solubility, making it a more appealing option for those who prefer a smoother, easier-to-mix supplement. This enhanced solubility also translates to potentially better absorption in the gut. While the research on this is still somewhat limited compared to creatine monohydrate, anecdotal evidence suggests that creatine HCl might be gentler on the stomach, especially for those prone to digestive discomfort or bloating. However, it's important to note that the scientific evidence supporting the superiority of creatine HCl over creatine monohydrate is still lacking. While some studies suggest it might be absorbed more efficiently, the overall consensus is that both forms are effective in increasing muscle creatine content and enhancing athletic performance. So, where does that leave us? Well, if you've struggled with digestive issues in the past when using creatine monohydrate or simply prefer a supplement that mixes more easily, creatine HCl might be a worthwhile option to consider. It offers the same potential benefits with potentially fewer digestive downsides. When it comes to dosage, Creatine HCL is typically recommended at a slightly lower dose than creatine monohydrate, around 1 to 2 grams per day. However, it's always best to start with a lower dose and gradually increase it to assess your individual tolerance. Ultimately, the choice between creatine monohydrate and creatine HCL comes down to personal preference and individual needs. Both forms have their pros and cons, and the best option for you will depend on your specific goals and digestive comfort. Chapter 3, Micronized Creatine. Monohydrate, fine-tuned for optimal absorption. Let's move on to another intriguing variation in the creatine lineup, Micronized Creatine Monohydrate. As the name suggests, this form takes the classic creatine monohydrate and enhances it through a process called micronization. Imagine taking a regular-sized grain of sand and breaking it down into much finer, smaller particles. That's essentially what micronization does to creatine monohydrate. By reducing the particle size, micronized creatine offers several potential advantages. First and foremost, the finer particles of micronized creatine lead to improved solubility. This means it mixes more easily with water or your favorite beverage, resulting in a smoother, less gritty texture. No more clumpy creatine settling at the bottom of your shaker cup. Furthermore, the increased surface area of micronized creatine due to its smaller particle size might enhance its absorption in the gut. While more research is needed to confirm this definitively, it's a plausible theory that has gained traction in the fitness community. However, it's important to approach these claims with a critical eye. While micronized creatine offers potential benefits in terms of solubility and absorption, the overall effectiveness compared to regular creatine monohydrate remains largely similar. Think of it this way: both forms will ultimately increase your muscle creatine stores and enhance your performance, but micronized creatine might offer a slightly smoother and potentially faster absorbing experience. If you're particularly sensitive to texture or want to ensure optimal absorption, micronized creatine could be worth considering. Regarding dosage, micronized creatine monohydrate typically follows the same recommendations as regular creatine monohydrate, around 3 to 5 grams per day. And as always, it's best to start with a lower dose and gradually increase it to assess your tolerance. In essence, micronized creatine monohydrate provides a refined version of the classic supplement, prioritizing enhanced solubility and potential absorption benefits. While the overall effectiveness remains comparable to regular creatine monohydrate, the improved user experience might make it a preferred choice for some. So there you have it, guys, your comprehensive guide to unlocking the muscle-building power of creatine. We've covered the different types, the science behind their effectiveness, and how to choose the best option for your individual needs. Remember, whether you opt for the classic creatine monohydrate, the easily dissolving creatine HCL, or the fine-tuned micronized version, consistency is key. Make it a part of your daily routine, fuel your workouts with its energy-boosting properties, and watch as your strength and muscle gains reach new heights. Now I want to hear from you. Which type of creatine are you using right now? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about supplements or training, drop them below. I'll answer them in future videos. Stay tuned for more epic content coming your way soon. Until next time, keep pushing those limits and crushing your fitness goals.